Well, thank you so much, Karen. Are you ready to take some questions?
Yes.
All right, everyone. What I've just done is open up a chat box on the side of your screen. Simply type your questions in the small white box at the bottom next to where it says question and click on the return arrow. I'd like to encourage all of you to remain with us just as long as you can for our question and answer session. We'll take as many of your questions as we can, but for those of you who must leave, thank you for participating in today's program. We'll be sending each of you an evaluation after today's training. We'd appreciate you filling that out and returning it electronically to us. Every evaluation is important. It helps us know what you're looking for so that we can get that back to you. I'd also like to let everyone know to purchase a CD of today's training or to explore bringing Karen Marzo to your organization, you can contact our customer service department at 1-800-258-7246. As a reminder to our Star 12 members, you can access this recording and over 100 other free e-learning topics on your exclusive membership site at www.star12members.com. All right, Karen, our first question today. Why should we offer the customer choices?
I tell you, one of the major reasons customers get upset is they often feel helpless and overwhelmed by policies, procedures, red tape, and other things they perceive are beyond their control. You can counter this feeling by offering choices. You also show respect to their wishes and help them exert some positive control over the discussions, how and when they occur, and related issues. They often will choose between the choices that you give them, and it keeps them from going into more negative choices.
All right, and we have several people asking, is there a nice way, a polite way, to interrupt a customer that just won't stop talking?
Well, yes and no. If you validate a person, you can interrupt them, but you must validate them. Wow, this sounds like this is really important. Wow, this is a really big issue. Wow, I can see that. If you validate them saying, I can see this is big, let's continue on with the issue at hand, it's a whole lot easier. If you just say, let me interrupt you, then we've already announced that I've interrupted you, and that upsets the customer a whole lot more.
And what about when you can't answer a customer's question because another department does not supply information? How do you respond positively to the customer?
Unfortunately, that's information I'm not privy to. Let me see if I can get you the contact of the person who would have that information. And then get the contact number and information. Now, if you know the other department's just not going to give that information, this may be something you need to address with your company itself if it's a reoccurring question. If it's a one-time question, let me do my best to find an answer for you. And do your best to come up with an actual answer that is going to be, well, conducive for helping the customer's needs.
So pretty much, I don't have the answer, but let me find it for you.
Yes,
or
same
find
thing.
out
I
who
don't
has
have the answer. Let me find out who has it.
Absolutely. All right, and here we go. We are a financial institution and offer an account that requires certain steps to get the interest. If a customer doesn't meet them, we can't give them the interest. When confronted with an angry customer and we have to say no, how can we get them to hear yes?
I am committed to seeing that you get your interest every month. Let me go over some simple steps that can occur so that I can make sure that you get that interest.
Show your commitment and then reiterate the things that they have to do in order to meet the agreement.
Not, you have to do this, this, and that, because if you failed, instead just say, I am committed to seeing that you get your interest each month. Let's together review a couple of simple things that we can do to make sure that you get your interest.
So making it a we, that way you're a team member with them.
Yes.
As a bank support line, we aren't able to offer options to customers. How can we make them feel that we're assisting them?
In not offering options, there's always some way to offer an option with the support. I can do this or I can do that in most cases, but when you're on a, let's say a phone line where I'm either going to do A and you do B, you push 1, you push 2, you push 3, they're still getting options if it's a tree. If it's not a tree and you can't offer options, I'm at a standstill on that one. I'd almost have to ask more questions on what it is that they don't feel they can offer options on, because an option's always, do you want to continue on, or is this an answer to your question? So if they could give me a better example of how they feel they're not able to offer options, then I might be able to answer that question a whole lot better.
Okay. All right. If a customer is already upset and requests a higher authority to speak to, should a supervisor or manager contact the customer directly?
Sometimes. It depends upon the level of anxiety that the customer is feeling. Sometimes just giving them to another customer service rep will help it out. And anytime you talk to somebody else, when you can address yourself as a person of authority, be it with your title, be it just by saying, this is Ms. Marzo, I understand you have a concern with. If it's an extreme problem, then yes, the supervisor or manager in many cases can call them back. But as a supervisor and a manager, you need to make sure that you are going to support the customer service rep. If it's something where the customer service rep needs to go back on what they've told the customer, no. Let the customer service rep go back and say, I talked to the manager and was able to work this out for you. Let the customer service rep be the hero. And, you know, it really depends. If the person's upset because they broke a fingernail opening up a package and they want $10 million because of the tape that was used, I probably wouldn't send them on to the manager. However, I would have it worked out where there was somebody else that had more authority, be it another coworker or someone else, that I could say, let me put you through to someone else that might be able to help you. The other person now feels like they've been passed off to a higher authority. And it sounds like I'm saying lie and say you're an authority when you're not. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying when they feel like they can tell another person, they feel like they've been heard.